Good evening and welcome to our inaugural edition of Uctv News Roundup on this Sunday, the 17th day of March 2024, and I am Sunday Gloria Aboch, bringing you the top news stories that have made headlines this week. Starting with Monday the 11th, 3rd of March 2024, the Muslim community started their fasting period known as Ramadan. This comes after Saudi Arabia officials cited the crescent moon and declared the holy fasting month of Ramadan for many of the world's 1.8 billion Muslims. Fred Enanga, the police spokesperson, while issuing security tips to be followed in the month of Ramadan at a weekly press conference at the police headquarters in Naguru, noted that the force will work hand in hand with the Muslim clerics and mosque leadership to ensure the community is safe. He says that Muslim leaders should create security teams that will work with police officers on ground at mosques and worship places, and also encourage Muslims to take precautions when attending early morning and late evening prayers.
The Ramadan period, which has commenced today, refers to the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is considered as a sacred period of the year for the Muslim community. During this period, devotees abstain from eating and drinking from dawn to dusk. According to Fred Enanga, Muslim leaders are required to cooperate with the police territorial commanders to ensure the safety of their subjects and the whole public.
We call upon the Muslim leaders, imams, to create security teams that can work with the police. They need to be aware of the surroundings to take extra caution while going for early morning prayers, and also while coming back from the late evening prayers. Of course, there is the early morning and late evening are usually covered by darkness, and it calls for vigilance. For Jummah prayers, all mosques and Islamic centers must have extra security ready at the doors, checking who is entering and who is going out.
Enanga went ahead and hit on the basic safety tips to ensure safety of the Muslims during this holy period.
We call upon our Muslim brothers to avoid large crowds. Large gatherings can quickly become dangerous. Travel in groups is encouraged. Safety is in numbers. We call upon our Muslim brothers to avoid traveling alone, especially in isolated areas after dark. Varying routes at times of travels by being less predictable is important. Always carry a charged cell phone. Turn off location services on your smart cell phone or other devices. Criminals can use those features to establish your location. And we call upon them to also record all incidents of harassment, threatening phone calls or messages targeting the mosques and worship centers and even individual Muslims during this period.
He concluded by appealing to all Muslims to translate and implement the Islamic tenets so that peace prevails even after the Ramadan period.
Called upon Muslims and Ugandans at large to translate these basic tenets of peace, love, tolerance, forgiveness, and compassion, and promote the goodwill and harmony in our country. The month of Ramadan is also a period where Muslims give back to the communities through zakat and voluntarism. And just like last year, the DIG has called upon all territorial commanders, our RPCs and DPCs, CID commanders to also find time to join Muslims, our Muslim colleagues, in participating at least in a day of long fast as part of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. This is to give our officers a greater understanding and reflection on how important the holy month of Ramadan is.
Joseph Kabali, UCTV News.
And on to Parliament, the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, called for investigations into the alleged misuse of public funds by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, saying that the claims are valid and matter to Ugandans. For weeks now, the public has been awash with corruption accusations through social media handles leveled against the office of the Speaker and some officials in our office. Senyonyi, while addressing journalists at Parliament, said that thorough investigations into the huge amounts of allowances given to the Speaker during trips, community outreaches, irregular staff recruitments, and unspecified amounts of money deposited on public accounts, public officials' accounts need to be investigated and accountability given to the public.
Billions of shillings have been put on different accounts of staff members, purportedly for activities by the Speaker out there in the field. Again, the country wants to know, how does this get to happen? After the Kazinda saga in the OPM, government issued a new modus operandi to say that accounts of staff members of different government entities cannot receive more than 5 million shillings. But we are seeing plenty of money being put on the accounts of staff members. Some work in the office of the Speaker, others different offices, as you have been seeing. It's important that there gets to be an explanation about this money. It's a lot of money. What exactly did it do? How come it's being transmitted through accounts of staff members? There's been a concern about recruitment of staff to Parliament of Uganda. The Auditor General, by the way, reported on this matter in his report, showing staff that cannot be identified. And then we kept hearing people were being recruited irregularly. Some, we are told, are relatives, friends, in-laws, outlaws, whatever the case might be. There's need for an explanation. Who gets to be hired and how? What process do they go through? As the office of the Leader of the Opposition, we have lost staff whose contracts ran out at the end of January. I did engage the leadership to say, these people have been working here 2.5 years, doing good work. Let's renew their contracts. Normally the procedure has always been the new leader nominates a new team. But I said I have no problem with those who have been there. Let's renew their contracts. The Speaker of Parliament, together with the clerk, told me that there's no money. That the wage bill ceiling had been hit. So contracts cannot be renewed. But as that's happening to the office of the Leader of the Opposition, we then hear there's other recruitments happening. How? There's need for a proper explanation to all of these different issues. In our engagement with, at least on our end as a party, when we're asking our colleague, the Honorable Mpuga, and said, how exactly does this get to happen? What happens to whoever becomes lob after you, for example? And the response was, every lob gets to negotiate their own benefit. That's problematic. Because then I asked, assuming now as new lob, I quote unquote behave well to whoever is meant to okay this, does that mean I can negotiate for 2 billion shillings? It is not right. Also, there's been dishonesty around this issue because our colleague said he has not received this money yet. He's been waiting for the first installment. We saw the spokesperson of Parliament, Mr. Chris Obore, on TV somewhere confirming that former LOP and the 3 commissioners received this money. We need to be honest as leaders. It's important. So as the shadow cabinet, we have agreed on 3 things regarding all these various allegations, all these various matters. Number 1, that I write to the Speaker, which I have done, this is a letter writing to the Speaker asking her to convene a commission meeting, because there has been no commission meeting, at least since I got into office. Not one that I'm aware of. So it's important that the commission gets to sit and we get answers to all of these various expenditures, plenty of money that is not explained legally or even morally. That commission meeting gets to happen urgently within this week. If there have been meetings happening and I'm not in the know, this one I want to be in the know, so that I sit there in and ask questions. Because the commission okays all of these expenditures. We want to know. Number 2, you know that Parliament was adjourned, sine die, and we don't know when next it's going to sit. So as the shadow cabinet, we are asking the Speaker to convene Parliament soonest within this week, so that we discuss these matters. So that as an institution, we get to be accountable to people out there. But number 3, that Parliament of Uganda, this institution, gets to unequivocally explain to the people of Uganda all these various allegations. Staff recruitments that are irregular, monies that are spent in manners that are not understandable, the per diems, the service awards, the contracts and all of that, that as an institution, we get to see a proper explanation to the public. It's not enough for the spokesperson of Parliament to be on some media houses and say what he has been saying. It's his job, he's going to do that. But as Parliament, to release a proper statement explaining these issues to the people of Uganda. We are accountable to the people of Uganda. And no one should say it is not the business of the public. It's their business. This is their money. So how do you say it's not their business? It is their business. Our vision as Parliament is to be a people-centered Parliament. If we are to be a people-centered Parliament, we must account to the people. That we shall be people-centered. Otherwise, then we are not being honest with ourselves. Our hope is that these 3 demands and resolutions from the Shadow Cabinet get to be acted upon soonest, that a commission meeting is called within this week. 2, Parliament gets to reconvene so that we discuss these matters on the floor of Parliament. But number 3, that Parliament as an institution provides a proper explanation to the people of Uganda about these expenditures. There's nothing classified here that cannot be explained. If these our demands as the Shadow Cabinet are not acted upon within this week, we shall communicate to the nation our next course of action.
Now, in a new development, Anita Among, the Speaker of Parliament, declined to address allegations of mismanagement of funds and irregular staff recruitment within Parliament, despite pressure from some legislators, notably the Leader of Opposition, Joel Sonyinyi, and Remiyaga County MP Theodore Sekikubo. Speaker Among dismissed the accusations as being propagated based on rumors from unreliable sources stemming from anger over the recently passed anti-homosexuality bill.
Raising these issues on various forums. There has been deafening silence from this institution, Honorable Speaker, regarding the issues which are raised by the people. And like I said, we are a people-centered Parliament. I've seen a spokesperson of Parliament a few times on radio stations and TV stations, confirming some, saying some are partially correct, saying some of these allegations are exaggerated. But Honorable Speaker, today, this institution, which is a people-centered Parliament, has not come out comprehensively and unequivocally to to explain itself to the people, for which we are sent people in the government, to account to the people of Uganda.
There's a procedure matter. Have a clarification about the allegations in the media, so that we take a collective position, so that we come, we clean ourselves first. We are here to perform Article 79 of the Constitution, the oversight functions. We are taking oversight role on other institutions that are from government. But when it comes to us, we want hide it under carpet. And it is a shame to this House if we proceed when such allegations are on our head and we continue as if it is business as normal.
Because what is also coming up is that other than the allowance that this Parliament gave the commissioners, there is payment for servants.
I thought that is
Yes.
yes.
So, right now, Mr. Speaker, 4.8 million, 12 million for fuel. Right now, Mr. Speaker, the procedure issue that I've raised is whether we should not go ahead to lay the papers and then have time to discuss what we want to discuss. So, Mr. Speaker, is it not procedure right that you call on the ministerial policy, the statement to be laid, and then we discuss the other matters after? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Next item. I beg your indulgence under Rule 9K and even OM, so that you allow these matters. You even have issued a statement. If you have issued a statement at that point, you say yes. But to proceed as if nothing has happened, we go to the next item. And yet the only issue I have on my side is the member of this House. And once this House is on fire, I cannot sit down there. We need the answer. What happened?
Honorable members,
What happened?
sit and I give you an
What happened?
sit and give you an answer. Sit and I give you an answer. Honorable members, I will never, and I'm saying, never give you an answer on hearsay, on rumor mongering. And we are not going to run this house on rumor mongering. I just saw yesterday where they said the Honorable Uctv was dealing with the cocaine. Uctv is here. What cocaine is the guy dealing on? Me to answer you on hearsay, on the things that you have cooked on the social media, because I have said no to bank I will not. Next time.
It is in the same week that the ruling NRM party commenced the updating and renewing of membership cards in their register for all NRM members ahead of the 2026 general elections. Uctv visited Church Zone in Mubarak, Makinde Division, and talked to the Secretary of Defense, Mumbeja Nakanyike Margaret, to assess the preparation being undertaken to scrutinize and evaluate members seeking to join the NRM party. The exercise, which was launched by the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on February 28th, kicked off on Wednesday, March 13th and will run until Sunday, March 17th, 2024 in all 72,000 villages across the country.
Mulimu gwe tuli mukolo olwaleero tuli mu kuligestalinga abantu aba NRM, tuli mu ligesters za NRM, okuligestalinga abantu ba NRM abo bennyini nnyini n'abalala abaagala okukyuka basobola okukyuka naye nga bagoberedde amateeka ga register oba amateeka ga party nga bwe gayina okukola ki okubeera. Naye ffe si ffe tubalayiza abo abavudde mu opposition. Kati engoberera gye tugoberera mu registers tulina okugoberera abo abalimu ne tumanya abalamu nti we bali abafu ne basazibwamu. Kati oluvannyuma abapya nabo ne tubafiiringa mu kasitaba nga mutuuze wa mu zooni eyo yennyini mu bowandiikidde. Twagala abo bennyini ne bwe tuba tuwandiisa abantu 4 oba 5 naye nga basula mu zooni ate nga bapata yennyini. Tukooye abantu abalimba Museveni nti structures eziri ng'ate abantu tebaliiyo.
Kakati twatandise leero okuligestalinga ba voters aba Mubaraka era tuligestalinga wanene ku church wano Mubaraka zone. Ekisookera ddala olina okujja ne national ID ya zone yo oba okujja ne national ID ng'oli mutuuze owa Mubaraka zone. ensonga eyokubiri tubeerawo wanene okuva ssaawa 2 paka ssaawa 10 era ssaawa 10 wezituuka wetuggalawo okuligestalinga oba olina tulinda nkeera.
And finally, campaigns for the Dokolo District Woman MP by-elections started after the Electoral Commission nominated 7 candidates for the race at the beginning of the week. The 2-day nomination exercise, presided over by Erikwaine Ngobi, the Dokolo District Returning Officer, took place at the EC offices in Dokolo Town. The candidates are Rosemary Alwoch Ogwal from the FDC party, Janet Rose Adong from the NRM, Sarah Aguti, UPC, and Harriet again from the NUP party. The others are Esther Akulu Obot, Anna Grace Lalam, and Rebecca Arao, all independent candidates. On Tuesday, Ngobi closed the nomination at exactly 1 minute past 5 p.m. as required by law, saying that all nominated candidates must or met the requirements for nomination. Patience Baganzi, Dokolo DPC, said that all candidates are expected to abide by the Electoral Commission guidelines, especially when it comes to processions. And it is from this that the Uganda People's Congress Party, UPC, vowed not to tolerate any vote rigging in the forthcoming Dokolo Woman Member of Parliament by-elections slated for the 21st of March 2024. This was sounded by the UPC spokesperson Sharon Arach Oyat while speaking to media at their weekly press conference at the Uganda House here in Kampala. Arach said that as UPC, they have witnessed acts of vote rigging in several concluded by-elections, but this time around, they will not accept such happenings. She disclosed that their team is already on ground, mobilizing for the support of their party candidate Sarah Aguti, and will monitor everything concerning about this election. According to the Electoral Commission, the roadmap, the nominated candidates for the by-elections will engage in a 7-day campaign period from Thursday 13th to Wednesday 20th of March 2024. The polling and tallying of results for the parliamentary, directly elected councillor and a woman councillor in one of the local governments will take place on Thursday, March 21st. The Dokolo Woman Member of Parliament seat fell vacant following the death of the former member Cecilia Ogwal, who passed on in India on the 18th of January 2024.
I say UPC is ready. We have our foot soldiers on ground. We have our team ready. We have shown that we are capable of protecting our vote. We have seen us during the YAM election. So no, we are not intimidated by anyone. We only advocate for our fellow competitors to play by the rules so that we have a fair ground to compete, and we shall not tolerate any form of rigging. As the President has emphasized, we have every effort, every member of the party ready to protect their vote, and this is going to be done without fear or favor, the same way we protected our vote in Oyam. It's expected to officially start campaigns in Amoma and Dokolo sub-counties after harmonization of the candidates' campaign program by the Independent Electoral Commission this morning, which is the 13th of March 2024. UPC is indeed on ground, mobilizing for the support of the party candidate Sarah Aguti Nyakori, as affirmed earlier by the party president. We kindly appeal to the electorate and all the people of Dokolo District to rally their support behind the UPC candidate, whose central message is anchored on addressing their welfare, thus transforming both their lives and community. The military, I don't think it is its jurisdiction to interfere in the local politics of the country. However, let the military or the police, whoever is going to be deployed, to stick to its role of protecting the citizenry. Involvement in the politics, it is not allowed, and we shall fight it the same way we fought it in Oyam. And as I've said, UPC is ready to protect our vote, whatever we have as a party. And our electorate is as much aggressive to protect these votes as we are. So we are sending a warning to both people who are planning to rig the vote And also, if they are planning to use the security agencies, that UPC, we are alert and we have ears on ground. Whatever they are planning will not work.
Thank you for watching UCTV News. Those are our top stories that made headline this week. But before we end this, let's take a look at today in history. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in for the UCTV Weekend News Roundup. Stay informed, stay engaged. Until next time, I am Sunday Gloria Aboch. The best of the coming